Hi, I'm Vic Pinn, and I'm coming to you live from the GBTA broadcast studio in San Diego with my special guest, Matt Bradley, Regional Security Director for International SOS. Matt, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Vic.
Hope the event's been going well for you so far.
It's been a great convention so far.
Great. Matt, you were part of two code red education sessions today, prepping on a hotel bombing scenario and dealing with an active shooter. What were the key takeaways that you had hoped to leave attendees with?
Yeah, the key takeaways that we're looking for in both of those scenarios, which is one was a simulation and the other is kind of a case study about the Las Vegas shooting. So the key takeaways are that hotel security is important, and the other key takeaways are that crisis response is important, right? You can't prevent a terrorist attack, therefore you have to be prepared to react whenever it occurs.
Right. Did you have people come up to you and tell you they want it more and more and more, because it's such a hot topic these days?
It is such a hot topic. I asked the first question, I said, how many people stayed in a hotel last night? And every hand went up,
of
right?
Course.
So it's not like we're talking about a niche subject. Everybody understands that hotel security is important, and everybody understands that you have to have a response whenever a crisis occurs.
Right. Often travelers are more likely to consider high risk if they go abroad and leave our country. But you know what? We do a lot of traveling within the U.S., and there's risks there too. So what should travel buyers be aware of when considering travel in the U.S. from your perspective?
That is an excellent question. I actually have a session on that specifically around travel risks in the United States. And I think what travel buyers, I don't want to say they don't consider it, but what they often overlook is the fact that you don't want to have a double standard for your international travelers versus your domestic travelers, right? We're putting out that mitigation for international travelers. We want to offer that same mitigation for those who are traveling domestically.
Right. It's interesting. GBTA research a while back shows that 3 out of 10 travel buyers could not locate their employees in the event of an emergency, which that shocked me because that is a huge number.
Yeah.
You think about it. What should top considerations be when developing a travel risk program?
Yeah, so that is an astounding number. I mean, here we are
30%.
Almost 3 years after the Paris attacks, right? So you think of what really started this idea of, terrorist attacks in low-risk destinations, and the idea that you need to know how many people you have there. And the fact that 3 out of 10 still can't locate their travelers. I mean, number one, it's what is your exposure, right? I always say, when an incident happens, you have two options. You're either a participant or a spectator. But the way you know whether you're participating or spectating is if you know about your exposure. And so you got to know immediately how many people you have there. And then you have to have the ability to communicate with them and for them to communicate back with you so that you can tell which one of your travelers need help.
We've said all along that technology should be playing a major role, and to a certain degree, I would say that technology is playing a major role in helping track, monitor, locate, but there still seems to be gaps all the way through that process. Is it just my feeling, or is it true?
No, you're right, and I would say the gap really comes with capturing where the travelers are at, and this is where I think the GBTA and the travel buyer can contribute, because we look at capturing itineraries, we look at capturing hotel bookings, or maybe if they're staying in a shared accommodation, the travel buyers are the one who collect that information. So I think that as the more that we can collect these data points, the more information we'll have about where the travelers are at.
That's a great point. Matt, thank you, and enjoy the rest of the conference. Live from GBTA Broadcast Studio, I'm Vic Pinn. Thank you for listening.